For some reason, every year it's that Anaheim event just seems to be the best one.
Most hyped up Call of Duty event every year.
The Anaheim crowd, it's literally electric. You walk in the venue and you feel that crowd.
It's just that one event per year that you don't want to miss.
A scary first game, but a victory nonetheless.
Look at the energy from Havoc and Nameless standing up, high-fiving. Green Wall fans, make some noise. Your team is perfect at the end of day one.
Complexity, something that no one thought could be done. Optic Gaming just let it go.
EG, Anaheim champion.
Optic Gaming are your 2016 Anaheim Open champions.
I think it's going to be the craziest Anaheim we've ever seen this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, I love what I'm seeing from this crowd. Guess what? Only the best remain here at our $200,000 event. It is prime time, and to kick off our championship winners bracket, do we have two fantastic matches for you here on the main stage. Now later tonight, we have Optic Gaming versus Luminosity. Who's excited for that one? Absolutely, absolutely, but this one, a Cinderella story for two different reasons. On one side, we have Splyce, the first European team to ever win a major event on North American soil. But on the other side of the stage, a squad that pushed right on through the relegation qualifiers. BitterSweet finish atop their pool and want to prove they're the real deal. Anaheim, are you ready for the matchups? We are too. The time has come. Prime time starts right now.
MLG Primetime underway, and we are done with pool play matches. We are ready for bracket play, and joining me in the studio for MLG Primetime, I have my star-studded guests. Of course, we have Merc, a 13-time Call of Duty champion, including a COD XP championship. We got Proofy, a 10-time Call of Duty championship, including X Games gold medalist, and closest to me, of course, is TP, an 18-time Call of Duty champion, including a ring as well, a Call of Duty world champion. So they're definitely experts. Yeah, that's right. Everyone give the world champ some love, that's for sure. But as we said, bracket play now is about to get underway, and this is the good stuff, right? This is what we wait for. And the first game on main stage is a great one as well. We have our Stage 1 champion, Splyce, representing Europe. They did so well at Stage 1, of course, against BitterSweet, who were fighting through relegation, essentially, and all of a sudden now we have a fantastic match team.
I really don't know what to expect from this one. Splyce, I don't know if they have been necessarily weak throughout this tournament so far, but BitterSweet has looked so darn good. Can they make some noise here in the winner bracket? It's going to be one of the toughest tests possible that they could face here in the winner bracket round 1. So it'll be a hell of a match for sure. I don't even know who to call it, to be honest.
It's tough. I mean, has Splyce impressed you as much as they did in Stage 1, Proof?
Not as much as they did in Stage 1, definitely not. I don't know if it's because they have LG and Rise with them, and it's hard to beat those two teams, but BitterSweet has impressed me way more than Splyce has this weekend. Qualifying for Stage 2, having an amazing run this entire day. I'm excited to see them play.
I can't wait for this. It's going to be a good one, that's for sure. I mean, speaking of the winners bracket, let's take a look one last time at how our teams have fallen into that winners bracket. Of course, here is a look at the top side. Enigma 6 versus EG, Optic Gaming versus LG, underneath BitterSweet versus Splyce, and Epsilon versus E-United. Merc, I know you spoke earlier on about that potential of a Splyce-Epsilon matchup. That's exciting for Europe. But what are your thoughts about the top side of that bracket?
Well, obviously everybody's going to be looking at that Optic Gaming Luminosity matchup, that sort of rematch from Stage 1. I mean, Luminosity, they seem to always have a slow starts at these open events. Sort of, you know, the pool play, they usually deal with like tiebreakers and stuff. They don't play the best, but it's bracket time. When you beat Optic Gaming, you have to beat them early on. Winners round 1, and they're a team, they're a very big threat against Optic, and they know that. And then above them, Enigma 6 versus Evil Geniuses, two teams. They've made roster changes, and both of them have seemed to improve.
They definitely have. I mean, For E6, I look at this and think this could be an event where they maybe do make some noise, but just go back to that Optic versus LG matchup. I do want to get your opinions on it because, as you said, it's a rematch from Stage 1. It's an exciting time to be a Call of Duty esports fan, that's for sure. TP, how do you see that match going?
It's really tough to call, but Optic Gaming has been by far the best looking team here. They do have that perfect map record going on, but I think the winner of that match, I'm going to go out on a huge limb here and say the winner of that match is going to win the whole tournament.
Wow. I actually agree with that statement completely. Optic has been playing absolutely amazing this weekend. I feel like they're the one team that seemed like they continue to just brutalize team this entire weekend. No one's really been a threat to them. So I'm excited to see this.
I don't know if I go ahead and say that. I don't know. That's a
ballsy call. I'm going with it.
That is ballsy. I mean, on the other side, you have Splyce, who just won Stage 1. You know, if they're another team. If they're able to get a hot start, you know, who knows how far they can go. I would love to see a winners finals matchup between Splyce and Optic Gaming.
That would be a fantastic one, that's for sure. Of course, on that top side, Enigma 6 versus Evil Geniuses, like we talked about, but the next game up on main stage, Splyce versus BitterSweet. BitterSweet have had a fairy tale kind of story. As I said, they were playing through relegation on Thursday. They got so much momentum and so much confidence from that tournament, but essentially they came here, they sweep their group. Now they find themselves going up against the Stage 1 champs. I mean, Merc, they have to be full of confidence going into this.
Absolutely. Again, you heard Spacely, Lacefield talk about it. They said, we have sort of one goal here to qualify for Stage 2. After that, we're just trying to get better. Well,
they're playing pretty good right now.
Playing great, and I don't know if they expected to be here, but you're here now. You're on that main stage against Splyce, and who knows what'll happen. Lamagod and Lacefield have been electric all weekend long.
And Proof, how different is it from a player's perspective when you go into a tournament with, I don't want to say realistic expectations, but you have good vibes, right? At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. How different is it?
I feel like it definitely helps your team a lot more. You can look back at FaZe Clan. They were having a lot of issues going on. It seems like their chemistry wasn't really there, and as the losses progressed, they just kept getting more and more L's throughout this weekend. So if the vibes are not there, like you see with FaZe Clan, it can be the total opposite for you, whereas BitterSweet have that drive, they qualified for Stage 2, they're doing their thing, and it shows. It shows that they are happy the way they're playing.
Definitely does. Of course, let's not forget what is at stake here at the CWL Anaheim Open. A serious amount of money on the line, a $200,000 prize pool.
Cash money.
First place, yeah, a lot of cash money, Proof, take that. First place walking away with $80,000, second $48,000, third $32,000. And seems we know the bracket. I am actually gonna, I don't think I've ever done this at Open event, but I'm gonna put you all on the spot.
Oh,
yeah, here we go. Here we go.
I'm down.
Okay.
You're ready for this?
Yep.
Who walks away with $80,000?
Oh, well.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be a lot harder than that.
Oh, no.
Oh, just the winner?
Yeah,
I'm taking Optic Gaming for sure.
All right, you know what? Fine. You want to be that way? Top 3.
Top 3, Ooh. Optic Gaming, Splyce, LG.
OG, Splyce, LG.
I'm going Optic Gaming, LG, and you ready for this one? BitterSweet.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go Optic, Splyce. Third place. Oh gosh. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go Epsilon.
Ooh.
I like that.
Way to be bold with me, Joe.
Dave.
Dave. We love some Dave. We love some Dave on this desk, that's for sure. He's been playing fantastic all throughout the event, but some bold predictions. I respect it. I really do. But moving forward, of course, as we said, next game up on main stage is BitterSweet versus Splyce. We'll take a look now at our maps for the series and see my experts' opinions on it. Teep, I'm going to start with you. How does this series get broken down?
Okay, this is going to be a really tight one in my opinion. I think it's going to, a large majority of the series is going to go down to the map number 1 Hardpoint, but I think Splyce is just going to be too strong out the gate here. I think they've shown some sort of weaknesses throughout the groups, but I think overall that consistency, that experience, and most of all the confidence from winning Stage 1 playoffs is going to carry them through 3-1 to Splyce here. Yeah, I think BitterSweet, I believe I've heard Mad Cat sort of talk about Throwback Hardpoint as it's not their favorite map, and I'm just thinking Lamagod, Lacefield, Spacely, they're all very aggressive players, so that map number 1 is going to be very close. I can see BitterSweet taking it, but the rest of them, I feel like Splyce has the advantage. I see a 3-1 to Splyce.
I definitely see Splyce winning this. I see it 3-2. I think they win both searches, and I think BitterSweet will take the throwback in the Frost Uplink.
Okay, you're saying a game 5.
Search wins championships.
Yes, indeed, does win championships. That is true. MLG Primetime about to get underway in full swing. It's championship winners bracket time. BitterSweet versus Splyce. The game about to get underway. We can send it down to our fantastic casters for the series. I believe it's going to be the wonderful Puckett and Mr. X.
Thank you so much, Benson. If you said you thought BitterSweet would be here in the winner's bracket, well, you're a liar. They weren't even called BitterSweet 2 days ago, and now they find themselves undefeated in this tournament. They're coming in, turning heads very much like Lacefield did back with Cloud9 at the start of IW.
Yeah, and it's a team that's kind of put together with the leftovers, right? You know, Mox making a team for relegation. You know, he's got a popular Twitch stream, you know, a lot of followers, whatnot. And you know, he's got Parasite on the team. Then Parasite jump shift to EG. Then you see Exotic on the team as well. He leaves for Cloud9, and then now he's kind of stuck. You know, Lacefield's getting dropped from Cloud9. Pick him up. You bring in Lamagod. You grab Spacely. You kind of put this team together. I don't think they imagined to do this well, but they have been the surprise team here this weekend.
And they are going to be the team to watch for me because we know what we're going to get from the squad on the other side of the stage. Splyce, they just won our stage one. They went through a lot of tough teams, but they never had to face off against a juggernaut like Optic Gaming. They did go through FaZe, they went through Luminosity, and I have to wonder, how do you think this team, after knowing this squad, Matt, how do you think they match up against the playstyle of a team like BitterSweet?
I think they match up really well. I agree with a lot what the guys on the desk were saying. I think map 1 could be kind of dicey. You know, you get Spacely and Lacefield, two very aggressive players on the map with the way Lamagod's been slaying. On a short map like Throwback, I think it could cause trouble for Splyce. But you look at the other maps, Frost Uplink is a map we've seen Splyce do really nice things on. 4 ERADs getting really fast in your face. I think this is a series that looks like 3-1 Splyce, but you can't count out BitterSweet with how they play.
It's going to be a hell of a series, and I have to ask a favor from the crowd. Be loud this entire match, but also if you have your bag on a seat, if you have a sign trying to save seats for your friends, this isn't the movie theater. Crowd in, give everyone a nice viewing angle. Here we go. It's time to kick off game number 1, and we're going to Throwback. Now, just to catch you up on the history of these two teams on this map in particular, this is the first time for BitterSweet to play in this tournament. On the other side, we saw Splyce and Enigma 6 match up on this map. Enigma 6 was able to win it. It was a very close game, less than 10 points, but it went all the way to the time limit, Matt.
Yeah, and E6 has a roster that plays very fast as well. So just that playstyle may give Splyce some trouble here going into this map.
On board with Mox to open things up. This man is in the top 10. In fact, 4 players to look out for in the top 10 with overall KDs. At the very top of the list, it's Lamagod. He comes in as player number 4. Mox comes in at number 6. And then it's Mad Cat and Zero representing Splyce coming in with the 8th and number 10 seed overall.
And I think you look at this matchup, we saw the bracket earlier. It's huge for both teams. I think whoever wins this, now they have a nice shot at making it to that winner final. You would play the winner of Epsilon versus E United. E United, obviously, still a very strong team, but playing without Gunless. I think, though, they know Splyce. You can get that run. You beat this BitterSweet team. Then you go up against either Epsilon. You can kind of right that wrong. Never getting, losing 2 series to them over in Birmingham. Or you can play against E United, a team that you did not beat on your championship run at the playoffs.
I love the switch here. We're going to bring out the pink and yellow. If you're just joining us, BitterSweet, they are a brand new lineup. They are turning heads here. They will be your pink squad on the mini map. On the other side, it's going to be the European Splyce, starting off with about a 10-point advantage after getting the initial 19, but it's BitterSweet mounting the comeback, and it's behind just an even effort in the kill column.
Yeah, and I know BitterSweet, before this matchup, they're in the back scrimming up against Envious. Envious has not had the best of runs here in Anaheim, but still trying to stay warm before this match went underway. And you see Spacely and Co, they're making a play for this barn hardpoint. It's going to be Splyce able to control it here first, but they need to get this player out of the back if they're going to get the spawns.
Talked about Lamagod and Mox, how strong they've been. They're both leading their team at 4 kills. Unfortunately, both players are going to take some fire. Now it's Lacefield going into the hard point first. Spacely's going to fall, so Lacefield losing his support. Zero's going to pick up a double, but Lamagod is there to trade. Kills going back and forth, and at the end of it all, Splyce is going to hold, but there's still players in the back barn threatening for the spawn control.
Yeah, and you're worried if you're BitterSweet, you rely so much on Lamagod at this moment in time. If he doesn't go off and play how he does in the respawn game modes, where do you get those kills from? Spacely, a guy over his Call of Duty career, not one who's going to light up the kill feed. Lacefield, very inconsistent at times at Cloud9. That's how he finds himself off that roster. You can only get so much from Mox. So I think it's just where do they get that production if Lamagod doesn't keep stepping up?
Lamagod, key player to look out for on BitterSweet. And talking with Proto from Enigma 6 coming off their Game 5 loss to Splyce, I asked who's the player to shut down from Splyce if you want to win. He said it's Bance without a doubt. Zero, he's known for dropping huge numbers, the Stage 1 MVP, but Bance is Mr. He can do it all. He is the guy who's going to be most consistent for the squad. Currently sitting at even. It's It's BitterSweet who's winning the early slaying battle. However, they're behind on the scoreline, trying to turn that around here on bike path.
Yeah, you can see on the minimap the pinch was coming in from Splyce, but it's Lacefield with one, Spacely with another, and they're able to hold on to the hill for now. Mox trying to work his way here towards mid-map, trying to get the advantage here on the sidewalk. Just protecting his teammate inside of the hard point, not able to pick up that two-piece, but you see the score. Now Splyce starting to not really get that big lead that we were kind of hoping they would get here on bike path. It's going to be BitterSweet getting control of the hard point.
BitterSweet doing a nice job bringing this game back. Keep your eyes on that mini-map as well, Matt. This hill is moving in 7 seconds. We're going to the quote-unquote money hill. How do you set up for it?
You know, you're going to have a guys watch that top side of the mini-map, but really control this bottom side down by bowling. You'll be able to keep your spawns all the way in the back, spawn the other team out on the top side of the barn. But Lamagod was on a 5 streak there, was starting to heat up. He falls, and then the rest of Splyce just comes in, and they get control of baseball.
I don't believe there's any score streaks to worry about quite yet in this game. A 5-point advantage now for BitterSweet as they have retaken the lead here in our first of 5 games. Madcat jumping in is going to be met by 2 players. It's Mox in the feed once again, finding his 14th kill. Lamagod, we go back to him. He has a Scarab, but no real missiles to talk about. Look for those Trinity rockets and then beat the bombardment as the key score streaks as this game moves forward. A good break from Splyce. They do it with 20 seconds left. If you're BitterSweet, do you challenge this?
Yeah, you still have a lot of time to challenge this here. You're not really giving up streaks, and then you can't really set up that middle hard point right away. There's really no reason to. You can't take a ton of time on that train hill. You know, maybe you split, maybe you control the barn spy, and you get some time, but it's a good challenge here from BitterSweet. They keep the lead.
Now, Madcat, we talked about him being number 8 overall when it comes to KD. He's currently double negative. He's got a 0.5 at 7 and 14. If Splyce is going to win this game, I think you need the consistent effort out of Madcat. He's been one of my stars in the last 2 months. Lacefield shutting down another push. That time it's Bance flying through the window. Mox in the feed as well, as Lacefield should have found that kill, but it's Madcat with the double. And look at those yellow arrows. They have completely taken over the center of the map.
Yeah, they have control of the center train platform Hardpoint, and they're controlling that side of the map that you need to for barn, that second hill. So Splyce looking to go on a run here, starting to rack the score up.
Zero's 3 streak finally put to an end. Let's take our camera over to Splyce. Zero's teammates holding it down as Splyce remains in control, but the question is how long? Madcat knows a flank is being set up. Didn't see Lacefield coming though, and Lacefield's gonna find 2 players after picking off Madcat. Bance is gonna fall as well, but it's all good news if you're a Splyce fan because Jerd has been setting up. He's got his team the new spawns.
Yep, 1 round of intro kills here. It'll be about 25-30 seconds in favor of Splyce, and Lamagod comes high off the wall run. It's Madcat able to win that engagement. You see more players starting to fly in. The Scarab's going to be used on the side of BitterSweet. They're not able to get anything for it. 2 more players for BitterSweet on the Splyce side of the map, but they can't push in. Starting to wait for some teammates, and here's where you can see Splyce rack up a ton of time.
It's basically gunned down by Madcat out in the field. It looks like we have player 7, Bance, about to be into action. 3 players attacking from the back end. He was simply outnumbered and outgunned. Madcat, though, slides in, finds 2. He hasn't taken any damage yet before finally getting cut down. But Zero, the Stage 1 MVP, is here. Splyce continues to score. This is 40 unanswered points.
Yeah, and Splyce did not expect that. It looked like BitterSweet kind of all spawned up in the back. You know, you had Madcat from the top side. He was watching that big field. Zero walks into 2 kills there. Lamagod and Spacely obviously not communicating there. They're both looking at each other as they walk in. Zero just jumps up top, able to kill both of them to hold on to barn for the final few seconds.
Now, the scariest part here, if you're BitterSweet, is thinking about the payloads as this game goes on. Bance, 17 and 18, so close to his camo. Zero, he's about 80% of his way towards a reactive, and those payloads can pay dividends as this game goes on. On the other side of things from BitterSweet, Mox is pretty close to that camo. Lamagod has his FPL jump, but you are nowhere near reactive yet.
Yeah, and Zero is trying to get out of harm's way there. He's working on some score streaks, but those payload abilities can be huge if we go over to barn yet again. If BitterSweet can make this game close, you'll see the reactive, you'll see the active camo come out from Splyce, and they can break that hill pretty easy.
Remember, BitterSweet had the lead just about a minute and a half ago. Since then, it's all Splyce. They got basically 60 seconds over at the barn. They keep scoring here at the bike path. Those pink arrows can't get close enough. The man, he's scratching his tush on the ground, Matt. I don't know what's going on in this game, but it's a blowout so far in the second half from Splyce.
Yeah, you see Splyce, they were able to control the bike path, and they get set up for baseball. And you know, it was just a lot of challenge, a lot of contested attempts for BitterSweet that did not work out. Now Splyce has a chance to hold on to this hill for a very long time. Chris, you see at the top of the mini-map, those spawns coming in back by Barn for BitterSweet. They're going to have to figure out a way to break this. You see the arrow number 1, Mox. He's waiting for his teammates. They're going to try and hit through underpass.
Here comes the push. Jerd shuts down the first. No health, and he comes sliding out, catches Lacefield off guard. Individual effort picks up the double. Meanwhile, Bance on the other side finds kills 3 and 4. The team shot going down. All 4 members of Splyce still up. Jerd behind enemy lines, catches Spacely flanking, and this has been perfect hardpoint from Splyce in the second half. Fully streaked out is Jerd, a 6th streak. Expect more, as I expect some bombs to drop from the sky.
And those kills by Jerd. You see the score at the top. Splyce up by more than 100 here against BitterSweet in game number 1. These score streaks, if there was any question for BitterSweet to come back, are going to put this game away in Splyce's favor.
Splyce needing just 18 more points. BitterSweet scoring in the middle of the map. Will Jerd call the score streaks? No, he wants to keep the streak alive. Finally going to fall after 7 straight kills. Mad Cat in the feed with Bance towards the end. No one sitting in the hill. They're just baiting in BitterSweet. The rocket's coming down. Jerd's going to find one on Mox, but unfortunately takes out Mad Cat. They still have the man advantage as Jerd is going to see Zero doing the damage from the front. Jerd's going to do it himself. 10 points to go. They should finish it right here.
Yeah, and Jerd showing up big in game number 1. You see the FTL jump trying to get forward using that payload ability. 29 and 22 from Jerd. Everybody on Splyce over a minute hill time. A big game number 1 from the Europeans.
10 points to go. BitterSweet has retaken control of the center of the map. We are going to one more hill. Unfortunately for BitterSweet, this is Splyce's money hill. Can BitterSweet somehow do exactly what Splyce did on the last rotation and lock in a full 60? The Centurion's at the front door. That's going to help shock anyone sliding through. So that's going to allow them to put the focus on exactly where Splyce is coming from, the back angles.
You can see the active camo from Bance coming in. He's not able to get anybody with it, but gets close enough. See more payload abilities now being popped on the side of BitterSweet. It's going to force Bance all the way out. Does not want to challenge that gunfight right away. Lacefield wins 1, but it's Jerd coming through the side. Zero coming through, picking up 2 of his own, and that'll be it. It'll be Splyce 250-167, winning map number 1.
We talked about the payloads going to be crucial, but to be honest, these guys got it done with their guns. Jerd, a fantastic streak over at baseball, but it was the rotations before that. They had a full lockdown of Barn. They controlled bike, and then they go to baseball. They never lose one of the team fights.
Yeah, I mean, once Splyce got control and they started getting a rhythm and really start to heat up, there was no stopping them from the side of BitterSweet. They would kind of wait. BitterSweet, they would get together, they would try and get some coordinated pushes, but they just were not getting those kills.
Now, this was the first time BitterSweet is playing throwback Hardpoint together in the tournament. So you can wonder, is that kind of going to be an issue for them if they're unprepared on the maps? Fortunately, moving forward, they are very familiar with the upcoming maps. The bad news, Retaliation, Search and Destroy, this is the one you let the open bracket team era take you all the way to around 11.
And I was going to say, you know, Splyce a very good S&D team, and we talked about the things that they could do on Frost Uplink with those SMGs in hand. All 4 we've seen at a time. Running some machine guns on that map to great effect. So these next 2 maps look pretty good for Splyce. They get a big 3-0 here, man. They look really good going through the rest of the bracket.
Llama God has shown us everything this week, and he's been their star player, kind of shocking me because I remember talking about this guy last year. At the beginning of this year, never really saw success from the teams he was on. This is his breakout tournament, and he's the guy I'm going to be putting my attention on. Will he be able to go off in another Search and Destroy? We've seen Mox. He's been super consistent. But when Llama God's there as well, that's when you see the 6-1s, the 6-0s coming from this super powerful S&D team.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Llama God in the past put together some pretty good events. I can remember one. I believe it was Call of Duty Ghost Season 3 Relegation when he was on Isolation Empire. He had a very good event. I believe they get second. I believe it was Epsilon with Parasite who was able to win that event with Swanee and Remy and them. But we have seen Llama God in the past put together some good showings. This, though, I would agree, definitely his best.
Isolation Empire.
Yeah.
That's going way back.
Yeah.
I love it. 250-167. Here's a look at the breakdown from map number 1. You see the difference. It's the Barn 102-27. Baseball 69-28. That's really the key difference makers. Mox continues to impress, at least in the kill category. Almost the 30 bomb, a 1.21. But Jerd He's a little bit better, a little bit faster, 30, a 1.25 in 80 seconds, double the hill time.
Yeah, I mean, Monk's just kind of playing that role, a little bit of a slower NV4, you know, maybe on the map, like throwback, you know, have a K-bar in your hand, still play a little bit more at range. It's not really his kind of responsibility to intro and pick up those kills and get a ton of hill time. So you kind of look at the other guys on his team, you know, what went wrong with their kills.
I'll be honest, this is the first time I've really seen Mox on the main stage. First event I've had a chance to talk to him, but you just get that feeling after talking with him. This is a confident little lad. He's coming in here with something to prove. A lot of people know him for his online success. This is his first opportunity to cause a major upset and make a statement here for BitterSweet.
Yeah, I mean, he's always had success online. I mean, this is the one team that you looked at the relegation tournament, you knew Mox's team, that was the one that we expected if there was a team that was not the stage one to make it in. It was going to be this BitterSweet lineup, and they've done just that, and I think they're proving, you know, how dangerous they can be, obviously, at this event, into stage 2 of the Global Pro League.
Game number 2 is just moments away. Are you guys having fun out there? People are waking up. Prime time hasn't quite hit them yet, Matt. I have a feeling they're going to get more into it as this game goes on. I'm expecting around 10, around 11 even, as we head to retaliation. NV4s are going to be the key to the game. We've seen all 4 members of BitterSweet pulling it out at times and having great success. On the other end, I expect to see Madcat pulling it back out. If you see him with the ERAD, that is a sign that Splyce wants to go fast.
Yeah, I caught a game of BitterSweets earlier, and you actually saw them with some ERADs hitting the hotel hallway, being very aggressive up the middle of the map. So it would not surprise me if you see Spacely, you know, try and potentially go on some flanks, maybe all the way through that bridge side, trying to play that a little bit slower, you know, get in a position to pick up some kills in that market, and then kind of converge on B.
Spacely was kind of the key for the First Bloods when they played against Era. Will he be the guy to watch again for the Splyce side? Who's normally their guy that's going to be in the most First Blood engagement?
Oh, it's going to be Jerd. I mean, Jerd is going to be that fast, aggressive player, you know, right up in your face on all the maps for Splyce. So you look to see how he does here in the Search and Destroy.
Lacefield's pulling out the ERAD. Let's go through the remainder of his teammates. I believe we're going to see a fast push looking at this A bomb site, the bottom of your, or excuse me, the top of your mini map. And you're going to see the hotel peaked at first. Llama God set up here to protect the bridge. And they're still looking for a first pick before they go anywhere with this bomb in the hands of Spacely.
They're just going to play this a little bit slower. You can't just charge down that bridge, obviously. It's so open. You know, you have a player back there with an NV4 on the side of Splyce, and he's going to just start mowing down opponents. And you see Mox there. He gets caught in a position. Madcat's so smart. Blows up the car, able to take out Mox, getting first blood.
You don't need to tag up the player if you blow up the car next to him. Madcat is going to force one back. Spacely is going to find Bance. 2 on 3 now as BitterSweet finds themselves down a man. Jerd at the end of this hallway looking for another pick.
Yeah, but BitterSweet now, they haven't given themselves a good chance to go over towards A. Obviously, you know, dropping some players early. You know, 35 seconds left in the round. You're forced to either, you know, play for a pick, which may not come, and it may not inevitably kind of walk right into them, or you have to just kind of get that bomb down at B. But let's go on with Spacely. Just look at the play that he's making right now. This is so smart. He somehow has figured out a way to get into this hotel. He's definitely thrown Splyce for a loop.
And you and I thought he was going to go to A right there. It looked like he was heading to the A bomb site and was going to throw it down. They are just checking every corner. You see the grenades just a check. They want to see, will we find hit markers? Llama God is stacked up on top of Jerd, and Jerd is going to find him, punishing him from behind with the NV4. Spacely is going to fall at the hands of Madcat, and this is all Splyce in the opening round. Fantastic patience on the defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you make the right call, just timings don't go in your favor. And right there, it was a fantastic play by Spacely to be able to kind of juke Splyce out. You know, he had him over at A, then to B, then right back to A. He was able to finally plant the bomb at the B bomb site. The timing is a little bit different with Llama God. Maybe he picks up one coming out of the hotel hallway, a completely different round.
When Rise Nation was playing this map, we saw their opponents kind of spreading out on defense. Once they had the man advantage, they just kind of threw it by attacking one at a time. What I liked from Splyce right there is they all grouped up. Even though they went to the A bomb site and found nothing, they all went together. We're looking for the opening fight here, and it's going to be Bance spotting Llama God across the bridge. Gets out with his life for now. Opening blood might happen right here in the hotel.
And Jerd doesn't want to challenge this player on top plat because there's a lot of different other angles he can get shot from, right? I mean, he can get shot from the top of the hotel. He can get shot down from that lower market. They're just trying to figure out a way that he can get Lacefield out of this position. But he gets that first blood onto 0. You see why Jerd originally didn't want to go through that doorway. Lacefield wins another one, but just like that, Splyce evens it up at 2 players apiece.
Player tried to come down the stairs, instantly punished by Bance. So a 2-on-2, Bance with bomb in hand. You have a teammate across the map, though, as Mad Cat goes all the way back to watch the flank. Do you expect a rotation here?
Well, that's what it looks like. It looks like Mad Cat's playing all the way in the back here, and his teammate's going to have an opportunity for a 2-piece, but it's going to be a 1v1. Llama God versus Mad Cat. Llama has the clock on his side, knows that bomb's down.
Tagged up again is Llama God. Llama's going to win, though. Look at this round-ending kill cam. The first shots landed on him, and Llama's showing you why he has been the standout player in this tournament for me. Jumping up and hitting all 4 bullets to finish off Mad Cat.
Yeah, he just has a really nice angle, right? I mean, he's jumping up high from the high ground, already has a lot of viewage onto Mad Cat, and Mad Cat just kind of looking up. All he can see is the top of Llama God's head, so a nice angle there from Llama.
Llama God sticking with the AR, making his way to the top of your map. You're gonna see player number 1, Mox. He is in charge of watching the center, making sure no one gets flanked. The other 3 freed up to go on the attack here.
It's gonna be a slower play here from BitterSweet. Now Lacefield, he's given away this position on this right-hand side. That usually kind of tells you they're going for a bomb plant. They fully committed to this site, and Jerd takes advantage of Spacely on the bridge, able to draw first blood.
Jerd going for the high wall peek. 2 bullets in an opponent, backs down, calls it out. That's Lacefield who is tagged up. Lacefield now dropping back to Llama God's cover fire. Mox leading the charge on a rotation. And Jerd, if he goes into the hotel, he's going to find himself potentially in a 1v2. It looks like Splyce, though, they are just patiently waiting, just like they did in our first round. I love what we're seeing here from them on defense.
And now they know that BitterSweet's trying to approach this through the hotel hallway, and the bomb's down actually on the bridge, so it's BitterSweet in a very bad position, only 25 seconds left. See, Splyce, they're just staying home. They don't have to do anything fancy. They know this round is theirs.
That's the 5,000th melee from Jerd in the last 2 months, but he will eventually be cleaned up. Mox, last man alive, doesn't want to feed any streaks, and it looks like he may just let the time go down as he looks for one more pick, but it's Zero who finds the kill. Splyce holding strong on defense. There was no effort from BitterSweet to get the bomb down. I think losing it on the bridge is kind of where they knew this one might be over.
Oh yeah, I mean, when your bomb carrier gets first blooded on the bridge, it puts the other teammates in a very difficult position. I mean, they can't just kind of push straight through. You know, Splyce has all the great positioning. I mean, they did the best they could trying to go through the hotel hallway, but not able to cause any action on the site. It'll now be Splyce on offense.
Bance on your screen to open things up. Bomb carrier once again. Reminder, once planning, it no longer adds to your payload, but will help towards score streaks. Spacer's gonna open things up with an ERAD, but Zero's there to trade, so 3-on-3. BitterSweet drawing first blood. No one there to trade the second kill. However, Mad Cat, you see his angle, could find himself in trouble if those pink arrows directly behind can spot him.
He's got a nice angle to look at bomb, though. Not able to win that initial gunfight. Big kill there from Mox, giving his team the player advantage. Oh, and now Zero drops all on Bance in the garage. 3 straight kills from BitterSweet as they'll tie this round up.
And that was all Mox, right? You win that gunfight against Mad Cat, you just open things up.
Yeah, getting that first blood is huge, especially, you know, when Mad Cat comes down. He initially sees you first, just Mox better shots there, able to land that kill, which opened up the round.
Mad Cat, he is going to fall to Mox, who finishes with 2 kills. But I'd love to see what Mad Cat is going to do on defense. Splyce, that's been their strength so far. Taking a look at Spacely, talking to his squad, the veteran representing Fizzerp, who passed away sadly here in the Call of Duty community. He will be missed, but he is represented this weekend. Spacely and the boys trying to answer back after losing in the Hardpoint. BitterSweet with bomb in hand once again, making their way over to B.
It's going to be Spacely going straight through garage. Should be safely able to get this bomb down. And it's interesting, you know, a lot of teams now, they'll challenge this top plat area from the defensive side. You know, change comes in a few months ago, you get the spawn a little bit closer. Even now, you know, the offensive side of the maps, but Splyce plays so far back on the defensive end.
Jerd, he's going with the pre-fire. Llama runs right into it. Excellent pick here for Splyce. It's the rare first blood, but Mox is able to find Zero, and now Lacefield takes out Mad Cat. So BitterSweet flipping the tables here. They have the man advantage 22 seconds before this bomb detonates.
Lacefield's in a fantastic position up top, able to win one more gunfight with the Erad. There's a player right around the corner. He's not able to pick the kill up, but his teammate there to trade it out as BitterSweet takes yet another round.
Another look at Spacely. First blood specialist, this time working with Mox in the round-ending kill cam. Jerd, the final victim. We're going to another round here, and there's a look at their superstar. Mox, we've heard about him from online. Matt, have you had a chance to watch this man on LAN yet?
No, not a lot of opportunities to watch Mox on LAN, but in some of the past performances, the Gosu crew and whatnot, you've seen, you've heard he's done very well. So I was not worried about this team at all coming into this event.
Lacefield on your screen has been running the Erad on the attack this time, setting up on defense, pulls out the K-bar, picks up one, looking for zero. Can't finish the shots, and Madcat comes in. The bait and switch from Splyce gives them the man advantage. Bant still with bomb as Splyce is on the attack. Mox and Spacely trying to stay up.
Spacely in a difficult position. Knows multiple players are on this bridge, and he can't have any teammate support here to trade this out right away because they can't just kind of leave Hotel Hallway wide open because an easy flank could come in the round in favor of Splyce.
Spacely looking for the kill that will even this up at 2 apiece. Doesn't want to poke too far. Hesitates, Bance punishes, and Zero goes skydiving somehow, picking up the kill in the air. He was wall running for a minute before he got those shots off. Here it is. Look how high Zero gets to pick up the final shots. Long range, excellent precision.
Yeah, and Mox had him pretty weak. Yeah, Mox drilling some shots at range. Zero shots just a little bit better. It's a nice round is put together by Splyce to tie this back up.
Mox 75% of the way towards a camo here, as we are still in the middle of game number 2. It's all tied up 3 apiece. Splyce's defense has been very strong in their opening rounds. Just showed you what they can do on the attack. Llama God, though, going to be trading out kills. It's only Spacely left alive. 1 versus 2. Madcat and Bant still up for Splyce.
And after Llama God picks up that first kill, he kind of backs down a little bit, but looked like he may have been able to win that second fight as well. And it's going to be Spacely taking out Madcat, forcing a 1v1. Not going to win it against Bance. The Erad too strong at close range. Be Splyce winning their second round in a row.
Spacely had an opportunity here, and he just misses wide left with the first shots, but look how fast Bance is going to melt him there with the SMG from about 5 feet away. You don't stand a chance. Bance and Splyce, they take the lead here in Search and Destroy. They're up 1-0 in the best of 5. Will they be able to finish this game strong? They're back on the attack. Bance is getting ever closer to his camo, and he's a kill away from opening up with a Scarab here, which can be used either as a scout or to push players back from a bomb site.
And now that they know Spacely's at the end of the hotel hallway here, be interesting if they try and just jump out and challenge him. Yep, as soon as they know he's reloading, Jerd jumps out, wins that gunfight with ease. So another first blood in favor of Splyce. They played that to perfection.
Jerd opening things up is leading his squad with 7 kills at this point. Llama God on your screen though from BitterSweet. The bomb down, he's looking for defenders, but it's Madcat who's gonna find him. Mox answers back with the kill on Madcat. Lacefield still patrolling. He hears the call out from Mox, they're over here. Lacefield trying to get the angle, but that bomb timer is ticking away. 27 seconds before it detonates. You have to get to it, Matt, here in about the next 12.
And Lacefield, he's gonna dart down, try and make a play for the bomb, but his teammate died. 1v3, they know exactly where he is. He is as good as dead here. His players just coming in towards the garage. They're just toying with him at that moment. It's gonna be Splyce getting close to taking map number 2.
Now, normally we kind of praise teams that are in position to trade out kills and work together. This time around, we saw Mox and Lacefield kind of split up in different directions. What was the game plan there, down a man on defense?
Oh, I mean, there's not much time left on the clock. You're searching for players all the way in the back, and I mean, you have to get over towards bomb. So Lacefield probably said, I'm gonna go to bomb. You go clear out that backside. Mox gets killed, and that's really where the round ends.
It's gonna be BitterSweet on the attack. Once they get the bomb planted, they can set up in those defenders' positions to protect it. Spacely gonna watch as Bance jumps forward with the Erad and picks off Lacefield behind him. Now Space looking for an engagement of his own. Bance is there, and this time Spacely's gonna win the one-on-one, but Zero catches Lamagod out in the open. Mox is there to trade. Kills going back and forth. It's a 2-on-2. Mox getting pressured, and it seems that Spacely got caught on the garage door, so Jerd, he could pick up the final kill here. It's all up to Spacely in the 1v2.
Oh man, if he slides under that garage, they probably get a little bit of better timing. At least have an opportunity to trade that kill that got on the Mox out. But Mad Cat guns down Spacely in the garage, and that'll be all she wrote for game number 2. It'll be Splyce winning it 6-3.
Impressive stuff from Splyce when it comes to search and destroy. It wasn't an individual's effort that won him the game. Everybody was playing their role. From Zero going with the crazy high wall runs to finish off Mox from across the map, or Jerd perfectly timing his attacks to get the first bloods. This was a team effort, and it shows in the scoreboard.
Yeah, it was really first bloods story for me. You know, Splyce did a nice job, you know, getting those opening picks and then really taking advantage of them. We've seen so many times where teams, they get these first bloods, not able to close the rounds out. Splyce, they got the first bloods, they closed the rounds out. They win map number 2.
Our buddy Proofy at the analyst desk, he said BitterSweet top 3. A lot of people saying Splyce is gonna finish top 3, and that's the one that's looking more and more likely as this match goes on. As we take a look back at games 1 and 2, Splyce, they take over Hardpoint in the second half, and then they show their dominance in the second half of Search and Destroy. They're one game away from moving on to the winners bracket semifinals. We'll see if they can get it done on Frost coming up next. Coming into game 3, both Splyce as well as BitterSweet are undefeated in Uplink. Here's your G Fuel key player matchup, though, as we highlight Lamagod from BitterSweet and Zero from Splyce.
Yeah, you see how good Lamagod has been this weekend for BitterSweet, the 1.34 KD, 11 total points, but Zero has been right there. Not as great as KD, but you see the work he does in the OBJ department.
Keep your eyes on these two players. That is your G Fuel key player matchup.
Best player in Infinite, is I excluding myself? Based on the last event solely, I would say Zero.
We gotta get it to Zero from Splyce. The way he played at the last event was amazing. So props to Zero, you're an amazing player.
Karma's always been my best player pick. Gun skill wise is Zero. Brains me.
I guess you have to give it to Trey, Zero, the European, just because of what he did last event.
The best player in Infinite Warfare is definitely Felony.
All three of the best players in IW play on my team.
So far, so good for the boys of Splyce. Their Hardpoint and Search and Destroy has been great, but their best game mode by far has been Uplink. And I just want to break this down for you before we get into it, because this could be a 3-0 sweep. I've highlighted the two key players to watch. This is Zero and Jerd. You even heard the guys there. The best player on the game potentially now is Zero. He's going to be lingering around this middle area. He's going to be given lines of sight here onto blue and also the rotation. But the man that you really want to be looking out for is Jerd. He's going to be the one that's causing a little bit of mayhem down in the sub-base, and naturally he will have the support of his teammates, but a simple route that he will be taking will be through the sub-base, but he will have the support and rotation of the likes of Zero and Co. Now, it's not just that simple. You will need to make the kills along the way, of course, and for me, I always call Frost a two-wave game, because you're going to need to make that first wave of kills, push that drone up, make that second wave, and you should be able to secure yourself 1 or maybe 2 points. Judging off Splyce's uplink so far, it's been pretty good. Let's see if they can close this out with a 3-0 victory.
Momo, the European legend, a good-looking lad. Go ahead, Momo. You can just walk away now. Fantastic breakdown of how this is going to work. I can't wait for this.
Momo's had the oddest Telestrator segments. He comes on, he wants to say a lot, he doesn't say anything. They tell him to come to us, he's just lingering there for a bit. I actually agreed with what he said, though. If anyone paid attention to what he said, I actually did.
I did.
I agreed. I think Frost definitely a map where you can get the drone, you can't really kind of force it up the middle after one wave of 4 kills. You're going to have to kill them out of their base for a second time.
Now, my favorite part of watching Uplink is Jerd. I mean, we talked about Zero. A lot of players saying he definitely deserved the MVP title at stage 1, and he's up in the running for greatest player in the game right now. But for me, when you watch Uplink, watch Jerd. His fast play style, the SMG, the aggressive play. It's always so fun to watch, because not only does he get the early picks, he's also going to convert this into a 1-point toss or a 2-point dunk if he gets that extra kill.
Yeah, Jerd, very crafty with the movement. So I think when you get the drone in his hands, he can do a lot of nice things with it. You know, knocks down those 1-point throws with relative ease. And I think Splyce, you know, you look at this team, you have Bance, Jerd, and Zero. 3 players who you really trust with the drone in their hands. I think it's definitely something a lot of other teams don't have.
And one of the scariest parts of Splyce, you saw it at stage 1, then when they played up against Evil Geniuses, all 4 members are feeling comfortable with an ERAD in hand on this map. That's something that very few teams can pull off on the counter end. Very few teams are that good with SMGs. I think that is going to be one of the keys to victory for Splyce in this one. If you're BitterSweet, you got to keep up the pace. You have to keep up with guys like Zero and Madcat, who are surprisingly strong with an ERAD on this map.
Yeah, I'm interested on the side for BitterSweet to see how Mox plays on this one specifically, just because he's a little bit of a slower AR player. We talked about it on Throwback. This is a map that's very fast. AR players typically have a pretty difficult time on this map because you have so many players coming at you so quick with SMGs. So interested to see how Mox plays in this 3rd map.
This is your winner's bracket, round 1. Only 8 teams advance to the winner's bracket from pools. Splyce, of course, they had a bit of a struggle early on, but on the other side of the stage, BitterSweet, they're undefeated in this tournament. They've gone to some game 5s, but this is the first time they find themselves down 0-2. Will they be able to battle back? Are they mentally strong? I think this game is going to tell us a lot about this new squad.
Look, Splyce is a championship team. They turn up when it matters the most. You know, they get through groups. Now they go into the winner's bracket, and they probably look at that bracket and say, hey, guys, man, this first matchup against BitterSweet may be, in fact, our toughest going forward. Before we hit a winner bracket final, we need to come out and play our best.
Now, in the previous matchups, it was Splyce playing Cloud9. That one was 6-3 Splyce, relatively low scoring for Frost. When BitterSweet played, they went up against FaZe, and they were able to win that one 9-8, a nail-biter. Lots of interceptions were in those games, so keep your eyes not only on the players attacking with the drone, but the defenders. Can they jump up in front of that uplink satellite? Can they grab the drone out of the sky? To open things up, we go to Bance, who leads all players when it comes to scores per game. He's averaging 5.25 scores when it comes to uplink.
Pretty crazy number for Bance. And you wouldn't really kind of categorize him as their objective player, but you see the drone in hands of Mox going for a 1-point play. He's going to connect. So it's going to be BitterSweet getting on the board. First, Lamagod working on 3 streak and make it 4. As he just destroys Zero with the ERAD. Lamagod getting off to a good start here in our 3rd map.
The mammal deity Lamagod doing work early on. It leads to a 1-point play. Mox, putting in the first score, but now it's Splyce's opportunity. You have Bance looking for the 1-point toss. He has 2 players in front of him. It's gonna be Jerd, the key one though. And there is the interception we talked about. Lacefield picks up 2 kills. The drone is snagged from him on the way down, and that's gonna keep BitterSweet with the lead.
Yeah, BitterSweet just times their jumps. They had 2 or 3 players there going up into their goal. That throw was not going to go in. Bance would need to wait a little bit longer to make that throw go in. Just get those players coming on the way down, not on the way up. But you see Lamagot now out of position. The drone going the other way. Splyce trying to turn this into points.
And Jerd is all alone. He knows there's 2 defenders, so he's just gonna reset his armor, waiting for teammates to come help or even distract. Tries to thread the needle there to the right. Unfortunately, it's just down and to the right. Is this drone gonna be cleared? It looks like it is, Matt. And now it's on the move in the hands of Lamagot. BitterSweet looking for the counterplay.
Yeah, BitterSweet pretty fortunate there. They're gonna get, oh, it's gonna be Madcap flying in.
No
picking it up.
yet.
Thought we were gonna see a 1-point play go through. But if that drone doesn't go off the map, Bance gets into their base, picks up a 2-piece, grabs that drone. That is a 2-point play for Splyce. So BitterSweet gets pretty fortunate there.
3 kills in the feed in favor of Splyce. Drone moving up. Mad Cat's gonna dump this one off. He wants to be a blocker. The drone's gonna be thrown through by Bance. That is the first of his 5.25 average. We'll see, will he continue to get some dunks as this game goes on. Spacely cleans up 2 in the middle of the sub. Looking for a third, a 3 streak now for Spacely, and now a 4th. He's killed every member of Splyce. He's gonna try and do it one more time as they come in for a dunk.
Oh, but it was actually Jerd on the other side of the map, so he picks up a kill and then he gets the drone off. So you were on Spacely's POV, like, oh, he's just murdering through everybody. Where's his teammates? That's exactly what Phil was talking about. You got to get 2 waves of kills. Spacely pushes forward. There's some players that get lingering behind from Splyce. They're able to stop that push.
Bance is playing phenomenal. 9 and 4 at this point, more than double positive. He's already been involved in the objective play, and he's leading the charge here. The defenders of BitterSweet will pick him up, but that drone should have gone in. That is the 2nd miss from Jerd. Some of the most rare misses I've ever seen. This is a guy who hits 90% of his shots.
Yeah, the first one was pretty tough. You know, the first throw he missed, he's coming through the window, 2 players, but that is one he definitely should have connected with. There are some points that are left, you know, not on the board in favor of Splyce there. Jerd had an opportunity to put them up 1.
Now you wonder what Spacely's doing. If you look at the mini-map, he's surrounded by all of those yellow arrows. Consider those sharks, basically. And Spacely, he's the chum, baiting everyone to the sub-bay. Meanwhile, trying to buy time for his teammates to come off spawn and take control of the outdoor area. Unfortunately, though, your E-Rads, they're not as strong as the boys on Splyce. Bance picking up more kills. Mad Cat's in the feed. Seems at short range, Splyce, they're just winning these one-on-ones.
Yeah, and this is a map we've seen them do this on. You see Zero with a K-bar in hand. He's just going to try and lock down this middle of the map, able to pick up 2. One more player, Jerd, comes in and cleans it up. And now they know where this last player is. They're going to take the drone far away from Lacefield. They're going to try and push this one back in towards Sub-Bay. Only a minute left. Splyce trying to add to their score.
Zero was dribbling the drone, leaves it behind for a teammate, but Mox single-handedly stops this from being a dunk. He picks up 2 kills, an interception comes in. The score's still 1-1. How many times have we seen Splyce threaten inside BitterSweet's base, but it's an individual player that goes off with either an interception or some key kills?
Yeah, that time Mad Cat trying to get a 1-point play going through, but it was Lacefield with the interception. But it does not matter. Splyce off the spawn. They pick up a few kills, but not able to get that 2nd wave. 3 kills come in favor of BitterSweet. Mad Cat still, though, the only one alive. Gets 2. Is he able to get the 4th? Oh, no, not able to get that 4th player. Everybody else spawns up in that back helipad. That would have been a sick play. Mad Cat had actually gotten 2 kills, picked up a 3rd, not able to pick up that 4th kill in time.
If only the E-Rad printed those bullets just a little bit faster. Lamagot, with 10 seconds left, is going to go for one desperation throw. He's going to get there with about 2 on the clock, I believe. But does he have enough height to get this one in? Buzzer beater, not going to happen. Couldn't get there in time as he went for the low wall run.
But still, if you're BitterSweet, keep it low scoring. You know, you don't have that explosive slaying to go at Splyce with these E-Rads in hand. You keep it low scoring, you keep yourself with a chance to win this game.
And there is just a prime example of what Jerd does in the round-ending kill cam, sliding around, dodging the shots. Splyce, they come into this one all tied up, but they have a 2-game advantage in the best of 5. A win here in the second half sends them to the winner's semis. BitterSweet, they need to win 3 straight games, and they're looking to take the lead early on here as the second half kicks off.
See Lamagot trying to work his way towards drone mid-map. He's going to get a touch on it, and now bring it back towards his teammates. And you see Splyce, as soon as 2 players drop, they back all the way up they're going to make BitterSweet outgun them, trying to push forward.
Scare blown up, and so is the rest of the team. Lamagod cutting through players. His teammate Mox with drone, 2 defenders in position, and that one was red like a book. Bant snatches it from the sky. He's 75% of the way to that camo, which could be devastating as this game goes on. On the other end, Mox, he's only about 60. He needs to score more kills and be the first one to put this camo into action.
And another interception on the other end. So you
again.
see Lacefield with his 2nd interception of the game. I don't know if that one would have went in. It looked like it was going to fall a little bit short. You see some streaks being called down now. Spacely and Co. trying to work their way through sub bay. But it seems like, Chris, every time we see these teams go off, they get the drone, they get that first wave of kills. It's that second wave of kills that Phil was talking about that they're not able to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, you have a man without a gun, right? You have the drone in hand, so you're going to be outgunned every time. I feel like maybe there's a little bit too much pressure from the BitterSweet players thinking they have to force it through. Big plays from Zero, though, in the base. Almost gets it there, but the goal line defense is going to stall it for about 10 more seconds until Mad Cat's able to pick up the rebound and dunk that one home.
That time you saw the second wave come in for Splyce, but now it's going to be BitterSweet on offense here. It's going to be 3 kills in their favor. They have the drone in a good spot. Let's see if Lamagod, he's going to throw it down. He's going to set up, try and pick up some more kills. And this may not result in points. It's going to be 1, but it got kind of scary there. If Lamagod goes forward with the drone, that may have been a 2-point play.
I don't know. I think he did everything right there, because if he gets those 2 kills, it's a guaranteed dunk. You have 2 players behind you. Even if you trade out just one-on-one, you're giving yourself a better opportunity. So I like that BitterSweet is mixing things up, because clearly going for just 1-point tosses, it's not going to work. Too many people in position to intercept from Splyce. Now, though, keep your eyes on the payloads. Mad Cat has unlocked his overdrive. That's going to give him superhuman speed as he could dunk one through. At this point, though, he's just looking for the spawners. The drone's going to pick up a melee as Zero. He's going to do it all by himself. Mad Cat blocks the spawns, and the dunk goes through to make this a 2-possession game.
Yeah, that melee was huge by Zero. He cuts from the top side of your minimap all the way back towards your middle. They're able to put in a 2-point score. And now Lacefield, he gets drones, Spacely with yet another 2-piece. I feel like we said that a few times, but they're not able to turn into points. Lacefield forced to throw the drone down. Players converge from Splyce.
Looking at the numbers, I mean, Lamagod continues to impress at +6. Spacely slowing down a little bit. He's -3. Lacefield, not a big factor in the attacking game at -8, but he has had those 3 massive interceptions to keep this game close. But as this game goes on, Splyce, they're winning more and more gunfights, and they are starting to rack up the scores. Another interception coming in as the score remains 5-2. But man, this is getting dangerously close every single time Splyce attacks.
Yeah, BitterSweet just playing so far in the back of their base. They just cannot get out of this area. You know, whether it's Mad Cat coming through the sub bay, Zero, making plays with the drone. More kills come in favor of Splyce. They have active camo. They're going to pass it forward to Bance, and here it comes.
Here comes the pain train. Choo-choo. Bance is going to clean up the kills afterwards. They're looking for a second round. Unfortunately, 2 players from BitterSweet, they're on the hot break. It's basically overdrive in it. He's going for the counter dunk. 1 player to beat, and what a play from Zero. Smacks Spacely out of the sky. The drone drops without scoring. Splyce looking to send this one home strong.
As if it couldn't get worse for BitterSweet here in map number 3. Spacely pops the overdrive, thinks he's home free for a 2-point play. Zero meets him at the goal, rejects him for that 2-point score. Now Zero on the other end trying to get this 1-point toss off, not going to connect. But man, BitterSweet, this has been a rough game number 3 for them.
We talk about the ERADs, Matt, and I think that was the difference maker. Keep your eyes on the kill feed, bottom left. What do you see? It's Mad Cat, it's Churd, it's Bance, all with the ERAD in hand. Only Zero was running the K-bar. He's picking up quite a few kills himself at 25 and 23, but it's the other 3 from Splyce that have been setting the tone in this game.
Yeah, it's just been the pressure from Splyce. It has been way too much for BitterSweet. Zero with a melee, pops reactive, trying to lead the way for some more points. They would have had him if they wanted him, but it doesn't matter. 12 seconds left. This game's going to Splyce.
BitterSweet, they're not out of the tournament, but they're heading to the losers bracket. Splyce moving on to your winners bracket semifinal. Give it up for your Stage 1 champions. What a team effort all 3 games. It got close at times, The first half of the Hardpoint, so tight. Splyce, though, they turn up in the second half. They blow out the doors from BitterSweet. The search and destroy, 3-3. It's tied for a moment. Second half, it's all Splyce again. In this uplink, though, I feel like it was just Splyce from the beginning. They had so many opportunities to score, and they really made those count in the second half.
Yeah, that is the Splyce we saw at the Stage 1 playoffs for the Global Pro League. We did not see it thus far this weekend. I kind of agreed with the analysts. I didn't know what to think of them coming into this match, but they showed up in a big way.
Congratulations to BitterSweet for going perfect in your pool. The bad news is Splyce slipped up and you had to meet him in round number 1. So Splyce is moving forward, and I know all eyes are now going to turn to Epsilon and E United. Are we going to see that rematch for Splyce a little bit later in this tournament? Remember last time they matched up, it was Epsilon who beat them in the grand finals, not once in a best of 5, but a perfect twice, 6 straight games.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know Splyce, speaking of those guys, they definitely want revenge against that Epsilon lineup. But Epsilon, to get there, they'd have to go through an E United team who has a lot to prove this weekend.
A lot going on still here in Anaheim, and I can't wait to hear from the players right now. We got our Stage 1 MVP on the main stage with Courage.
We most certainly do. Splyce just made it look easy on the main stage going up against BitterSweet. You've stopped their very hot road so far, so congratulations to you there, Zero. But first off, I just asked you, who you even lost to so far this weekend? You said Rise Nation. I want to talk first about what did not work in that series.
Well, we didn't start off hot. We haven't really started off hot that well. In the hard points, we've always started off slow, which kind of hinders us like further on in the games. S&D, they're a really good S&D team. That's what they're known for. So, and no one's played them since the Stage 1 week. Yeah. So, yeah, it was a new team to play basically. Yeah. We didn't know what they were doing. So yeah, that's basically what happened.
Well, you guys have most certainly bounced back from that one, cooling down BitterSweet there. Moving forward, though, another, guaranteed top 6 now for you boys. Looking ahead in this tournament now, is there anyone you guys are afraid of, who you're watching out for, who you're trying to study as you could potentially face them later on?
I'm not scared of anyone. My team aren't scared of anyone either. We just want to play Optic, really. Yeah. That's who we want to play. That's how you cement your mark in this game, by beating Optic, which I consider the best.
Well, one final question for you. You're not the only European team still in it. Obviously, still matches going on all around the venue. Any words for European brothers out there? Anyone watching online rooting on this region?
I mean, we're here to win. I'm not here to. We're still in a tournament. I'm not here to support anyone. So, no.
Oh, I like it. All right, it's you versus the world. Zero's the MVP for a reason. Congratulations again, my friend. They'll be playing on more this weekend, but for now, we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, more action on the CWL Anaheim Open main stage. We've got one final match tonight, Optic Gaming versus Luminosity.